Are there any, like, life updates?
Life updates?
I don't know.
We're alive.
Ooh.
What are we going to talk about?
Ooh. Ooh, I think I touched a spider web. I touched a spider web.
There's a squirrel right on that side of the tree.
What tree? There's a bunch of trees. We're literally in the middle of trees.
Really looking forward to getting over there Monday.
It's a spider.
Hey, little guy.
Oh, no.
Where are you going?
No, I was just...
What are you reading?
No, I was just saying, did you finish your train of thought?
It's gone. Whether I finished it or not, that train left without me.
Well, speaking
What
of...
are you reading?
No.
What are you reading?
Let me have my thought.
Huh?
Let me have my thought.
It's on a train too.
No, you're interrupting. I have a specific segue in mind. Speaking...
Oh, goodness, I'm gonna be dead. I'm gonna be dead. Go ahead. Speaking of... Go ahead if we said that. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm trying to make a point here.
Okay. Point. Point at me. Point at you. So what do you want to talk about?
Well, I figured it's day. Why are you smiling at me like that?
Hi guys, I'm Tim, the dad.
What was that look about? Hello, hi, how are you?
Howdy, folks.
We're going crazy.
Okay, we're on day
17
of the 75 Hard Challenge.
Mm-hmm.
And we wanted to give you a quick update and kind of let you know how that was going so far. We are still in it to win it.
There have been a couple of times where we were up at 4:30 a.m. trying to get our last exercise in, or, you know, walking around the block at like 2 a.m.
Biggest part's drinking a gallon of water in a day for me, because I'm used to drinking, you know,
ice.
Cokes and ice.
Coffee,
Coffee.
like 4 cups of coffee a day.
If I don't have Coke, I'm constantly drinking coffee, or, you know, drinking Cokes.
Or like a glass of ice.
Or, yeah, just nursing a glass of ice, but typically not a water drinker. But since we started this challenge, I've had 0 Cokes, and I've cut to 1 cup of coffee in the morning, and the rest of the day I'm dedicating to trying to get that gallon of water down.
And, you know, yeah.
Other than that, feeling a lot better. Actually, really feeling a lot better. I don't see a big difference in my daily pictures. Of course, it's still real early there. I haven't seen a big difference in the weight loss itself, but I think I'm turning some of it into muscle, and therefore it's not, you know, really going away. It's just going to a better place. That's my side of the update.
Well, I think the hardest the hardest days for me were between day...
You mean besides every day?
It's not every day. We're between day like 6 through 10 or so. I think it was mostly just a mental hurdle and trying to fight the impulse to want to eat everything in sight, because I'm not hungry. It's just a lot of that was tied to just emotional stress. So it's day whatever of the social distancing quarantine deal that's going on.
Yeah.
Of the thing that shall not be named. He said the men's restroom is fine, but in the women's restroom, people have actually stolen the rolls off the toilet paper. And there are no paper towels in the thing.
Yes, as soon as they fill paper towels up, you go in there a few hours later and they're empty
gone.
again.
Yeah.
So
people have been taking those from the park. At least just in the main restroom over here that gets like a lot of use.
Yep. Well, one thing we did do differently is we normally go to the grocery store
Mm-hmm.
a couple of times a week, and this past time we actually ordered our food online
For pickup.
and just pulled up and picked it up. We did the Walmart pickup,
Mm-hmm.
and I gotta tell you, it went so smoothly that we're actually considering just doing that a lot more often, even under normal circumstances.
Well, because when we go to a new town that we're not familiar with, like say you go to Walmart, every Walmart is set up differently. And so we waste so much time just running back and forth across the store trying to find where everything is that, I feel like it'd cut down on time.
Oh, absolutely. So.
And we didn't get everything we wanted. The way it works is they don't reserve your stuff. It's just right before your slot happens, they'll go through and shop. And if something on your list is sold out, they'll either make a reasonable substitution or say, sorry, this was sold out. We couldn't get it. So
yeah, so we still weren't able to get,
like
tissue
napkins
paper
or anything like that.
Napkins and milk.
The meat was all sold out.
We did get some
we got a bunch of
frozen
vegetables.
chicken and some vegetables and potatoes and that kind of stuff. The staples,
Right,
so
but and we didn't have to go in and deal with all the massive crowds and people going crazy right now.
Yeah, I
which
dealt
is
with
what
one
we
person.
really just wanted to avoid is the crowds. I mean, on a good day when all this isn't going on, I hate massive crowds. I can't stand it.
We try to avoid days where the masses are also going, just because I don't do good in crowds.
The one thing that is different is we're not going out and sightseeing. But at the same time, we're back in Texas. We're back to the parks that we've been to. So it's not like we're missing out. I feel like if we were somewhere else, I'd be really bummed.
Well, and the whole fact that this is our familiar territory. This is the region or the area that we call home. And if you're going to be in a crisis situation or such as we are, then there's no better place to be than home.
We know where doctors' offices are. We know where vets are. It's familiar territory. Even if we didn't grow up in this city, it's.
Right. It's our home state.
And like I said, we've been here before. We kind of seen not everything we wanted to see in previous trips, but I don't feel like we're really missing out. Like, say if we were supposed to go to the Grand Canyon, I'd be like, oh man, we can't do that. Really, Dad and I could go out and be fine, but we don't want to carry something back to Mom.
Right.
The other thing is just moving. When you're stuck at home with nothing to do, I know I was getting in my feelings yesterday because I'm a big empath, and so all the negativity and everything around it, I soak it in. And within like 20 minutes of our walk yesterday, what? Am I? What?
I'm trying to be attentive to what you're saying.
You're making me hilarious. But within 20 minutes of the walk, I was definitely feeling in better spirits. So if you're feeling down, I would say just get moving. Anyway.
Sorry.
No, you're not.
No, not sorry.
Just get moving any way you can. And, if you're...
I'm proud of myself. Our members of Thousand Trails, in case you guys don't already know, we pretty much exclusively stay at Thousand Trails Parks. And if you're not aware, if you're an RVer, then you probably are aware that national and state parks across the country are closing in droves, and even county parks in some counties are all closing. So there's a lot of full-time RVers don't have a place to go, or they're forced to go back to their home.
But for those who don't have a house,
if they have a home to go to or a family to go to, that's great. But there are a lot of full-timers.
What about
that don't.
BLM land, do you know?
So far, BLM land seems to still be open, but...
And today's March 19th, for reference.
And but the Thousand Trail system they have so far remained open
Mm-hmm.
to people that already have
Existing
reservations or are
reservations.
already in the park that they're at. In places out in California right now where they are doing shelter in place, Thousand Trails has even lifted the requirement that you move on in 21 days, and they're letting people continue to stay at the park
Through
they're at
April
least
7th?
through April 7th.
And then I guess they'll reassess.
And yeah, at that time they'll reassess. And if you already have a reservation, they're still honoring it and let you into the parks. They do have closed the pools,
Activity
the
centers.
activity centers, any places indoors where people generally gather and play games or. But I'm very grateful to be a member of Thousand Trails at this point because they really are being over accommodating for their guests, and they're going above and beyond what they should have to do. You know, really looking forward to getting over there Monday.
It's a spider.
Hey, little guy.
Oh no!
Where are you going? He's just floating around in the air.
No,
All right, see ya. Bye, guys. Tim, the dad.
Wait, we're not done.
I ain't sticking around for that. Good, googly moo.
Oh.
Did y'all know I could move that fast? Hi.
He's like under the tree branch now.
Hi, guys. Spider's gone. I'm back. Water's gone. Time for another 17 ounces.
Okay.
I don't even know what you were talking about.
Oh, someone's calling. Ooh. Oh God, that was a butterfly.
You crazy girl. You guys should be watching the Grand Canyon video by now. Hey?
Hey, Dad.
Hi.
First impressions, go.
Wow.
Look at the bird over there.
First impressions, go.
Wow, it's amazing. Beautiful. Taking a picture of the J. Very, very beautiful.
Bless you.
Thank you.
That's very. It's incredible.
Yes.
That's been there.
In there.
So it's windy out today.
Yes.
But hey, tomorrow's 10% chance of rain, and then after that, there's like 40% chance of snow.
Yeah.
So we came out on the right day. I'd rather have the wind than the desert heat.
Then the snowy and rain.
goes on for miles.
Well, it goes all the way to Lake Mead. It goes all the way.
Hey, Dad. Wait. Hey, Dad. What's the difference between a hike and a walk?
I think I've answered that before, but I don't remember.
I don't remember either.
A hike is a hike and a walk is a walk.
But is a hike is a hike still a hike if it's on a paved trail?
Oh, I remember asking that before too. Is a hike still a hike if it's on a paved trail? Absolutely.
But what's the difference between a hike and a walk? Because walks are on paved trails too.
But a walk is a walk and a hike is a hike. I think if you take a walk, you're doing it around your neighborhood.
Yeah.
If you go for a hike, you go out in the wilderness.
But don't you go for a walk in the park, not a hike in the park?
Right. But
Walking in the park.
well, it's as easy as a walk in a park.
Can you believe, one, that I've only tripped twice, but two, that it's a paved trail and I've still tripped?
I only seen one.
Yeah. First one was right when we first started.
Oh. Straight down.
It's a long way down.
Oh yeah. It actually makes me feel like I'm about to lose my balance just standing here. It messes with your equilibrium.
These are the views of this Wow. Look how far down that goes. My goodness. And just like that, it's calm again. Oh, look at these views. I spoke too soon. Incredible views, though. Wow. This is Jackie Point?
Yep.
So, real talk. We're over here at the Grand Canyon for the first time. It is almost 5 o'clock. We are having a great time enjoying these awesome views like that. And you know, it's winter, it's icy. My mom slips on the ice. And then all of a sudden, our family, because it's our family, decides to start arguing and fighting and ruining this whole trip for each of us. So I don't know if I'm gonna film anymore after this. This might be the end of the video. So, bye. So, we decided to tough it out and go see the sunset and the full moon at Hopi Point. This time of year, the shuttle's not running here, but it is the only time of year that you can take your personal car up. So, and this seems to be a popular spot to watch the sunset. The wind is brutal.
Live life to its fullest, no matter what.
Thanks for watching.
Bye.
Okay. We're done.
Food, yeah.
So we did that.